Shut up and sit down.
No, I'm just saying. All right, hey everybody. I want to welcome you to the Chatterbox. This is the first episode. My name is LC, okay? And today we're going to be having a guest here, but first I want to thank Channel 99 for letting me come in here and do my thing and, you know, be a part of this whole process. And thanks for being a part of my process, man.
Yeah.
Well, all right, so what we're going to do here is I'm going to introduce my guest. What is your name?
I'm Cecilio, better known by Chilo.
Chilo. All right, so this is my uncle, okay? All right, and so today we're going to be talking about his story, and in between his story, he's going to tell us stories. You know, he's going to give us kind of like a perspective of his life. He's going to talk about motivation, kind of like what motivates him now, what motivated him to get here. We're also going to talk about, you know, just random shit, cool shit. We're going to, you know, get a little loose, do our thing. All right. So what I want to ask you first is where were you born?
I actually was born in Caldwell, Idaho. A lot of people are they think that I was born in Texas. I was raised in Texas, but I was actually born in Caldwell. I ended up coming back here when I was about 14.
Okay.
13 or 14. And ended up staying here a little bit here.
When did you leave Idaho?
I ended up leaving, back when I was 14, I was here, and I was only here for a few years until I got married. I got married at a very young age.
What age did you get married?
I ended up getting married about 17, going on 18.
Holy shit.
And like, it was a really, really weird experience for me. You know, I thought that's what I needed to do. You know, my dad always thought. It would put in my head, hey, you know, is what you need to do. You need to be a man. You need to start settling down. It's like, wait a minute, man. Shit, I'm only 17. But he was very old school, you know. That's the way he thought. And so I ended up getting married and to a very fine lady.
Okay.
I ended up getting divorced in 2001. Apparently that shit wasn't going to work. I was way too young. I still wanted to fucking run the street.
How old were you in 2001?
About 2001, I was in my early 20s.
Damn, you feel like old.
Yeah, I'm very old. I'm fucking very old. I was already working on woman number two, a relationship number
2001. I remember 2001 too. I was in Texas. We were all in Texas, huh?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I ended up leaving Idaho in '99.
Okay.
'99. I went back to Texas, and you know, stayed there for a little bit, did my own thing, and ended up meeting somebody else right away, and I had 2 other kids, which I ended up having custody of and raised them.
Yeah, Israel
Nancy. Which, by the way, I'm a grandpa today. You know, my first granddaughter was born today, so I want to send a shout out to Israel. Congratulations, son. You know,
you're gonna be a father.
He's already a father. You know, shit.
That's crazy.
He started young too. So.
Oh yeah. That's dope. And then, so what happened after Israel and Anthony came into your life? What changed? What started happening around 2000?
Around 2000. Well, let me say first. Let me back up a little bit. Let me rewind a little bit.
Okay.
Being young, getting married and stuff. You know, I didn't know anything about being married. You know, I didn't know nothing about, you know, that's what you need to do. I just thought that's what you needed to do. But at the same time, I needed that. You know, I needed to be out. I needed to go out with my friends. I needed to go do me. And of course, you mix those two worlds, and it's just not gonna work. So, you know, I did a lot of that selfish shit, and did my own shit, and you know, I did a lot of selfish shit, and ended up, you know, that relationship didn't work. So I had 2 kids come out of that. These are my 2 oldest ones.
Okay.
And so I ended up going back to Texas, and here I am again. getting somebody else pregnant, you know, within less than a year, and I was like, I'm running away from this, and I'm fucking running right back into it, you know, and that's what ended up happening.
Okay. So, do you mind me asking you a few questions as well?
Sorry, man. I wasn't even listening. I was like working.
Okay.
I was just listening to you guys making sure you sounded good. Yeah,
Okay,
man.
fuck yeah.
Go ahead and ask me some
Okay, so
questions.
I was thinking. Okay, so we're gonna put that story on pause real quick because it has something to relate. But if you don't mind,
No,
me
not
asking
at
you
all,
some,
man.
like-
I'm an open book, dog.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
So, I noticed that he said that he was married and you were married as well. How did that feel for you? Like, what was that process like? I know you said that
The process of being
like,
married, or the
I mean, like,
process of
what were you
ending it?
thinking? So, like, I know he said he was thinking that like it's something that he had to do.
Yeah,
you know?
that was what, like me, like it,
Yeah.
to just kind of fulfill my lively duties. Just like I almost did it for everybody else.
Okay.
Kind of felt pressured into it.
Yeah.
So I was like, dude, I've been with this girl, and don't get me wrong, I was totally in love with this girl, but I wasn't ready for marriage.
Yeah. Okay.
I was kind of young,
Yeah.
and I didn't have a lot of dating experience up to that time, except for her. But I dated her for like, I want to say we dated for like over 2.5 years before we got married.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it was a long time, but it was also, there was a lot of like long distance there. She was from North Carolina.
Oh damn.
And I was from Idaho. We went to the same school in Virginia, so we saw each other during the school year. But like when you're home for like 3 months, that's a lot of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot of time for like, especially young love. Like as you get older,
Yeah.
you can kind of you can bear it, and like technology nowadays makes it a lot easier. But back then,
Yeah.
dude, it was kind of
Tinder,
hard,
freaking-
man. Yeah, you would like text
you actually
message
had
and
to work
phone
for it.
calls.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like, I mean, there was Skype, dude, but internet fucking sucked
Well,
back then. It was like 12, 13 years
I guess
ago,
I'm talking
you know?
from my era. In my era, it really, really sucked. You know, you got to be
Yeah.
out in a payphone putting quarters in a payphone for like 4 hours. you know?
because
If
nobody
you really
wants to accept a collect call.
Yeah.
It's like
Exactly.
$2. Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
Fuck
So-
yeah. Yeah,
Call
I
me in the
remember when I was
morning.
like 10.
From your mom's phone.
just send me
I
a
remember
letter.
when I
man.
was
Just
10,
send me a
there was
letter.
still
Just send me a letter.
payphones, yo. Still payphones when I was
Yeah.
10. So
Dude,
it's such a weird process going
We
through.
used to fuck around with payphones, man. We would like at the pool. There was like different ones. It was like we would call the British operators, and it was like 1-800-445-5667. But it would take you to like collect of like Great Britain, like England. So we would always try to make collect calls like through Britain, but they would ask us the phone numbers, and we're like, I don't know, 10, 11. We don't know what a fucking phone number is in Britain. We're thinking like, 208-376-979. You know, like a number from here, but they're totally not like numbers here, right? They're totally different, yeah. And they can totally tell we're like 9, 10-year-old kids calling, and we would do it all the time, dude.
Well, that kind of reminds me of a story I had, man. You know, back in the day, you know, when these first 1-900 numbers came out, you know, I
Oh,
mean,
we
I
would
remember
call
I was
those too.
I was about like maybe 12, going on 13 or so, you know, being curious and stuff. And, you know, I remember getting my mom's phone, and, you know, the little cordless, because back, you know, cordless had just came in because we had the big old string going to the phone and stuff.
Yeah.
I would lock myself in the restroom pretending I was taking a bath and dialing those numbers.
Call
and
like
stuff.
1-800.
Yeah, call 1-800 just to hear the
Yeah.
little intro or whatever. Hi, this is so
Thanks for calling.
Yeah.
I want to fuck
For a
you.
good time, press 7.
1-900 too
If you're-
hot for you.
If you're into 2-on-1, press 3.
Yeah.
So I'd go down through the whole category, right, to hear what they were saying. Didn't know that I was racking up the minutes, man. Just over and over. So
you call after 9.
You know, dude's
apparently.
dude's got that shit on speed dial. They're like,
Right?
boom, and it goes through all the options already after it calls them.
Oh my God.
And they're like, all right, what's up, Stephanie?
Yeah. So, you know, I was going through all that, you know, over and over and over. Well, a week went by, 2 weeks went by, and I was so nervous because I knew the phone bill was gonna come in, man. I knew it was gonna come in sooner or later. So I would
that's
get,
like
yeah,
rent. That's like rent.
eventually it came in, and I got that phone bill, and I threw it away, thinking, okay, they're not gonna send another one. I'm
Oh
clear,
my
you know.
God.
I don't see it. It doesn't.
I got
Exactly.
to it before. I got to it before they did. You know, I thought I was, you know, on top of it. Oh hell no! My mom's, you know, she was on top of it. Hey man, I didn't get my phone bill. She called right away. Well, then you didn't get it because you're overdue.
I threw it.
She called and she goes, "Well, man, you're about $900 overdue. My bill was over $900, so I must have been." And I mean, this is back in the day where it wasn't 25 cents a minute. It was like $3 a minute.
Yeah, it was.
Whatever, man. It was.
Yeah, they would charge you a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot of money, and it racked up to, needless to say. I couldn't sit down for about a week, man.
No doubt, dude. I bet she would have used some good leather.
No, man, she whooped my ass, man. She whooped my ass.
In my era, it was like, so you guys I remember that when I was a little kid, I would see all that shit on TV, but I never knew what it was because I'd be like, there'd be these chicks on
it's like
fucking
2 o'clock in the
lingerie,
morning.
yeah, and they're like, hey, call this number, right? But then when I was growing up, like, yeah, I was like 10 years old. That's when shit started getting more serious. Like I would wake up at 3 in the morning, 2 in the morning. And I'd go downstairs trying to sneak to watch TV, and there'd be these girls on there just flashing their titties.
Ours was
Girls Gone Wild.
Dude, that guy went to prison. That dude went to prison for filming a bunch of 17-year-olds, man.
Shut up.
Yeah, dude, he's in prison right now. Like, that's why you don't see that anymore. He went to prison, man.
Yeah, tons of like girls, 16, 17-year-old girls.
Yeah, because if you think about it, they're
check
just going
IDs,
onto
homie.
the beach.
That's all you gotta do.
Like,
check some fucking IDs.
Right?
Yeah, check an ID, man. Let's be real.
That's crazy.
Dude, that's crazy. I grew up on like OxyClean commercials and like scrambled Channel 99 porn. So like when you look at this is the guy from Channel 99, and like it used to be scrambled porn back in the day. Like if you went to Channel 99 at like 1 o'clock at night, where I lived growing up, it would be like Skinamax. And it'd be like the softcore porn.
Yeah.
So you'd be lucky if like it scrambled, and then for like a split second, like the lines just kind of match up.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like,
yeah.
And then it's gone. And you're like, all right, dude. All right, still scrambled, but fuck, man. You're like, we're going to see some more boobs.
Yeah. I totally remember.
You see butt cheeks and like maybe a nipple and a girl's face. That's it, man. That's literally the dude's face right there.
Back in the day, we used to live
that's why
next
it's
to...
called Channel 99 Studio, man. Yeah.
We used to live back...
That's why it's called Channel 99 Studio.
Next to people, they used to have a big old satellite. This huge satellite, right? So every time... if they would turn it in a certain way, we'd get certain...
different channels.
Yeah, different channels, but you can tell that there was a porn, and you can tell somebody was naked, but it's like, she's so weird, man. She's warped. Like, like she was so warped. You see all these lines. But we go out there, try to move it. I never got the full picture, man.
Jimmy, turn it like just a little bit left. and he's like, fuck yeah, dude. Boom his nipple. Oh, it's gone. It's gone.
That's funny.
That is so funny, man. Yeah, I think I'm like probably one of the youngest people in that generation who can kind of respect like cable TV before streaming stuff and whatnot, dude. Because like, dude, when I got on the internet, bro, like it was like you pay like for an hour, fucking a week or a month, like you pay for the hours. Like there was no unlimited access. It's like you buy like stream time or like web time. You know what I'm saying? Like nowadays, dude, it's like. You don't have that.
Yeah,
man.
You got internet all day.
Dude, you're like fiending for the next AOL disc to come around. Like, yo, dude, I got one more hour, man. I gotta play that word scramble, dog. This dude from like Japan's been fucking pissing me off, dude. Cause it's like right when all like online video games came out, so you could like match with like, anybody. AOL, dude, like MSN.
That kind of reminds me of fucking jail, bro. Like, when I went to jail, it was so different. So
primitive?
Well,
was it primitive? Is that what you're saying?
It was here, in Ada County. Well, like, yeah, because so, like, back in the day, I mean, I was hearing, like, stories of, like, when he would go to jail and shit, he'd be like, that shit sucked, all that shit. But then when I went, I was like... They didn't suck at all, nigga. I got someone put money on my books, and I had a fucking tablet that I could listen to music. I could go on the internet.
Oh, no shit. So you actually had that much access and like freedom.
Yeah, I was like, what
I think about a year ago, I had to go in for some unpaid fines that I had, and which I didn't know I had, and they ended up taking me because it was a weekend. It's like, unfortunately, we got to take you in. Do what you got to do.
Yeah.
I went in and. They had all these tablets. They had, everybody getting on there.
The commissary has that
like,
stuff, huh?
What?
You can buy it in the commissary?
You can literally get up from your bunk and go get a tablet and just be on it if you have money.
Like rent it out?
Yeah, no, you literally pick it up, and if you have money on your books,
you can be on it as long as you want. And it's
it charges you for the use time, or
well,
like
you're putting money into it.
So someone puts like $45. You can either call someone or you can get on the tablet.
And then okay. And
You
then,
know, like, or you can listen to music. So what I did was someone put money on my books, and I watched the fucking movie. I sat there.
How much would that have cost?
I don't remember. I really
Probably
don't
like $10
remember.
for the movie.
Yeah, it was
maybe?
like $10.
That's
but
not bad. They probably upcharged it for sure.
That shit was fucking dope. Though. I was like, this shit's
I don't know.
not
I
bad at all.
had
Ain't
never seen
bad.
something stuff
When
like that.
when it turned bad was when so these guys, I thought I was cool. I was trying to be cool in jail, you know. You get that you hear those stories of you gotta fucking be that cool guy or they're gonna start punking you around, you know.
Yeah.
So
Lose
there
your
was these-
ego at the door kind of thing.
So these guys were like, yo, fucking they've been there for a while, like 3-4 months, right? And there was this guy who had came in and they're like, that nigga's a snitch. We got papers on him and all
About
this
you?
shit. No, some other guy had
About
came
some
in,
other
right?
dude.
Yeah, and I was hanging out with those guys and shit. We were all working out together, you know. They would invite me to fucking spreads that they would make and shit, just because I, you know, my personality, I was a cool guy, I guess.
Yeah, dude.
And so this guy comes in and they're like, yeah, we got papers on that guy. He's a fucking snitch and all this shit. And they're like, you gotta fucking, what is it, PC him out? Yeah, you gotta, PC him out.
What does that
And
mean?
I was like,
You gotta get him out of there.
You gotta get him
You
out
gotta
of here,
get him out of
protective custody. And so I was
gotta
like,
send him
all
protective
right.
custody.
I was like, what does that mean? I didn't know what it was either. I didn't know what it was when he said that. And I was
So
like,
you
what
just
is-
beat the fuck out of him.
I was no,
Or at
no,
least, like,
here's the
hit him or
thing.
something?
No, that's
Well,
I
you
didn't
just
do
got
shit. I
you
was
gotta
like,
yell at him?
you got to make him
I'm a big ass
call
guy,
somebody
right?
to get him out of there.
Yeah,
to go to protect the
yeah.
custody.
So just intimidate him
Yeah, so
somehow.
I'm a pretty big guy back then. I mean, I was more bulky and shit.
Yeah.
Now I gained a little weight, but back then, you know, I was like,
COVID.
I was kind of bulky.
yeah.
And so, like, I was in there and shit, and I asked that guy, I was like, "What does that mean?" I was like, "I'm like, this is my first time in jail," you know. And he's like, "You gotta fucking put him in protective custody. If you tell him to get the fuck out of here, if he doesn't get the fuck out of here, then you beat his ass." And I was like, "All right."
So you just did
So-
it?
no, so
Yeah,
I was
you
like,
all been
dude,
here
just
for
like,
3
you
months.
just
You
went
can't
go
do
beat
it.
the fuck out of this dude.
I've been there for like a week, bro. And so this guy was sitting right there.
You're like, yo,
I
I've been
was-
waiting for me to come in and do it.
right?
Yeah.
And so the three were sitting right there. No, it was
The
so it
guy's
was
trying
like,
to get
yeah.
you to do it.
No, so he didn't try to get me to do it. He literally just asked me. I was like, all right, for sure. You know, I was like, okay.
Oh, he asked you. He didn't tell you.
Yeah, he just
Okay.
asked me.
I thought he
was like,
told you
no.
like to get clout in the gym.
No,
or
yeah,
something. Or I mean, in the
he's
fucking
he's
yard.
Yeah, no, he asked me. He's like, you got to do it, man. He's like, you want to do it? And I was like,
Okay.
okay, sure, why not? You know, if it gains me more fucking respect
sure.
around here, and
Yeah.
I could get more, more fucking shot at the spreads. And
Can I
this
get
guy-
another moon pie, dog?
Well, this
Let's be
guy,
real.
Yeah, 2 bags of chicken.
I got some fucking
Yeah,
cake to
no
make. You
joke.
know what I'm saying?
When this guy, he
That's
used
so
to take
funny.
pills at night, right? They would prescribe him pills, and he would hide them in his mouth, so secretly or some shit, and like,
And then sell them. Probably
yeah,
to
he would
make
take
money.
them out, and he would
Yeah.
like fucking crush them up, and we would snort them at night.
Yeah.
I'd probably get in trouble for saying that, but but
Nobody's
so
gonna be
then-
listening. And if
right?
they do, then you're like totally at the
Hey,
point
man.
where fuck 'em, you can pay it off.
No, so then we were all sitting at the table, right? And this guy comes. They ask him to come sit down at the table, and I'm sitting there, and I was like, you know, I think I was like 20 years old, and then so
Damn, that's young,
Yeah,
dude.
and so I was like,
No wonder you said yes to just,
yeah.
to just flexing this dude out, bro.
So I was like, what's up, man? You know, I made that deeper voice. I was
Yeah.
like, what's up, man? I was like, so turns out you got papers on you. Yeah. So I was like, turns out you got papers on you, man. I was like, you're a fucking snitch. I was like, you need to PC the fuck out of here or you're going to get fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
and
did he
so,
say?
He's like, all right, man.
He's like, I don't even know what the fuck that means, dude.
Yeah,
but yeah,
no,
dude, I'll
yeah,
figure it
Yeah,
out.
but I'm doing it right
I'm
now.
gonna do it right now.
Yeah, and so I told
Because
him,
he's never been to jail. You know what the fuck that means. I didn't know
He's
that.
never-
And I know a lot. I enough to
So
probably know what that
fucking,
means, but
I was
That's
like,
funny.
yeah, man. So roll the fuck up and get the fuck out of here, you know. And then he's like, all right. So he goes, rolls his shit up, and then I'm watching him walk out the door. And this is right around. So I got arrested right around Christmas. Christmas is 2 days before my birthday. My birthday's on the 27th, and
Mine's
then
the 20th,
New
man.
Year's. No way.
Yeah, dude.
It sucks. I hate it.
fuck my birthday.
I hate
Dude,
it.
I hate my birthday.
And then it's right after, like, my birthday is right before New Year's, too.
Yeah, it's
so
right after
that's
Christmas.
that's when I got fucking, you know, put in jail. And so these guys, so he went out like on the 24th,
Mm-hmm.
okay, and the guards knew about it, and they were like, all right. So they took out the guy that told me to PC him out. Okay, they took him out for some reason, but they didn't take me. They let me spend fucking Christmas in the cell with everybody else, you know, like in the fucking
in the group with everybody.
And shit. Yeah, and then so come the 26th, they put me in a fucking cell all by myself, like basically in like the hole, I guess, for jail. Yeah, they took all my fucking clothes
without
everything.
any explanation. They're like,
yeah, bro. And I was like, all right,
throw your shit in this basket and walk with
everything, bro. And they
That's
put this
crazy.
fucking like they took my socks, they took everything, bro, and they put me in this tarp thing. I don't like for suicide watch, but I wasn't fucking suicidal, so I was like, what the fuck? And so
Yeah, that's crazy.
they fucking checked my ass and shit for all the like, you know, cough, fucking bent over, cough, all this shit. And I was like, why the fuck are you guys doing this? And so
Somebody might have
turns
spit their
out
pills out. Put 'em up your butthole, man.
turns out this guy fucking snitched again. He was
No
like, he's
way.
like, this guy fucking made me PC out. He's like, then they watched the cameras and they seen me sitting there talking to this guy, and just being like,
Yeah.
you know.
They can literally see the
they
lips
can-
moving
and then they
exactly to
see
what you're
this guy
saying.
leave the table, go grab his stuff, and then leave the fucking, you know, go tell the guards like I need to get out of here.
That's even like, dude, that's even worse, man.
Yeah, and then I went into they call it the dirty 30s. So it's like
You did 30 days.
I did 30 days in there, but no, it's spending 30 hours in your cell and then 4 hours out. But that's with 3 other people in the cell. Okay, and you got the shitter literally right there. You got to shit in front of everybody in there and shit.
So the 3 of you are just chilling there.
Yeah, so it was
Damn.
just all
Chilling,
3 of
taking
us,
shits.
and then if you took a shit and you
Yeah.
didn't fucking close your legs while you were shitting, and they
You'd
could
stink
smell
up the
it,
whole
they would fucking be
cell.
like, "Yo, close your legs, do a fucking
Courtesy flush,
courtesy
man.
flush." And I was like,
Flush.
it was my first time in jail, so I was like, "What the fuck is that?"
Oh, you gotta do courtesy flush, man. Before it hits the water, you gotta
Before it
you
hits the
gotta
water,
push
that
it,
thing
man.
has to
Boom,
go.
it's
Like,
gotta
but
Go.
that shit
Light
like
water,
goes suck
bro.
out
Yeah.
your fucking guts. I felt like my lower intestine like come out of my butt. It was just
It's like airplane.
No, I literally seen a guy, man.
Great
This
stuff.
young kid, man. He had been about 19 or so, and he came in, and well, he had been in there for maybe about 2 weeks, and everybody was giving him shit. And I don't know where it, because you can't get commissary the first week or so. You have to wait about a week or so. He eventually got some money. I believe his mom sent him some money, and he got this nice pair of shoes. Well, I mean, you could only get. I think back in the day there was 2 pairs of shoes you can get, so he got the most expensive ones. And you know, when you have shoes in jail, everybody wants your shoes. Everybody's out because nobody could afford boxers and shoes or
Yeah.
or
They're
deodorant.
wearing
You know,
like flats and like
yeah,
slippers.
you know,
Yeah.
So
fucking shower shoes. And
Yeah, that's what it is. You know, you got to wear their shit, and you know,
They're slides, dude. That's literally all they are, right? Don't get
I
get
painted a
slides.
Nike sign on mine.
so they took this kid. You know, I was about maybe 3 bunks away from the restrooms, and I was on the top tier. And this is back in maybe about 2004, 2005, and the jails were really overcrowded. And there's supposed to be like a 92, I think, or somewhere around there, like the limit. There was like 120 people there, so they had people on the floor, they had people everywhere, so it was really overcrowded. So at that time, they took him to the restroom, and you know, hey, they started arguing with them, and before you know it, they started fighting. And it was a Mexican dude and a white dude. Well,
What were they fighting about?
they wanted his fucking shoes. They had been asking him to give his shoes, and the guy would not give his shoes.
It's like, no,
So-
I just bought these.
So this is a Mexican dude. He didn't know English, right?
Yeah.
But he didn't want to let go of his shoes. You know what I mean? And so anyhow, somehow, some way, somebody, I don't know. So I seen everything started heating up, and you know, like, this is my opportunity to get some shoes. You know? And you know what? Check this out. So the guy,
That's fucking good.
they started fighting. You know, they were both fit. You know, they were going at it. You know, I had front seat. I was like literally 3 bunks away from the restroom. They were getting down. Well, the Mexican dude, because the other guy, the white dude, stuck his fingers in his mouth and was pulling his
Fish hook style.
like, you know, he didn't know which other way to win. So the Mexican dude fucking started biting down on him, and he bit half of his finger off. And there was blood everywhere, man. There was so much blood. So you know, we were all like, "Oh like, just everybody was like tripping out and freaking out. Needless to say, that shoes came off, and they both got taken out. They both got taken out to wherever they took them and stuff. And I got a new pair of shoes, man. I got a new pair of shoes, man. I was so happy, I mean, they had a little bit of blood, but I got a new pair of shoes. They were about a size too big, but I got a new pair of shoes. And that's one of my best experiences in jail to say, hey, man, I was just here chilling, minding my own business.
Yeah, dude.
And I came up.
God,
You know what I mean? So that's one of my cool stories, man. It's just,
Yo, that is awesome.
This is a better story.
That, dude, my cheeks hurt, bro.
Shit. Have you ever been to jail?
Never been to jail.
Yeah, don't go there, man. If you do, don't take shoes.
I probably should have been in jail many times. I haven't been there.
Fuck yeah, that's dope. That's
Yeah,
funny
man.
as fuck.
Dude, that is absolutely hilarious, bro. That is so
No,
funny.
you see a lot of crazy shit. There's just
Lot
people
of
come and
crazy
go. It's
shit.
everywhere you go. People got different stories to tell. It's
Yeah,
it's
totally.
Cool.
Totally,
It's
man.
cool to hear.
Life kind of throws a lot of shit at you, and at very different angles. Maybe the same thing, but different ways. You know
It
what
does,
I'm saying?
yeah.
Like
It does.
challenges.
Yeah.
You know.
Fuck yeah.
And like, dude, I don't know. As I've gotten older, dude, I have definitely been challenged. But it's going into it and being like, all right, man. This is what I need to do. This is what I need to recognize, and these are the kind of drugs that are going to help me get through it.
You gotta pick and choose, man. You gotta pick and choose.
That's
Just
my
joking.
problem. No, for real. I'm being serious. So
Yeah.
like, mine is like, so I got into a lot of drugs and shit. But like, so my life took a turn, and then so I started realizing, like, I started making all these stupid ass mistakes. Okay, and so making all these mistakes made me fucking. So I would get, like, I would have a house, I'd be happy and all this shit. And then, like, out of nowhere, my fucking mind would be like, yo, do this stupid shit. And I'd be like, all right, for sure, let's do it.
Make bad choices.
Right,
real
yeah.
quick.
So then I would lose
Yeah.
everything. It's been like 4 fucking times, bro, losing everything so far. And I'm only fucking 25, right?
Yeah.
And so I've had, like, multiple places to live at, fucking, lost everything, got everything back, lost it again, all this shit. And so, like, right now I'm at a stage where I'm like, all right, you need to realize, like, a path of, like, what, not something that you want to do, but something that you need to do. And so lately I've been realizing, like, business is where it's at, because if you want to fucking sell anything, if you want money, then you have to sell something, right? You have to have a product to fucking be able to sell, or even yourself,
An
Yeah,
idea.
yeah,
Product
yeah.
with an idea.
Whether
Yeah,
it's your
and
job or
yourself.
whatever, you gotta
And
sell
if you-
yourself.
Yeah, and if you want to fucking, if you're good at something, so like I'm kind of good at rap, and I can kind of rap, fucking. So like you gotta learn business. You gotta learn how to sell something in order to sell yourself.
But you have to sell
Sounds
yourself,
like,
honestly, man. You sell
that's what
yourself
I'm
before you
like-
sell your talent. Because there's a lot of talentless people out there who are in positions that
They shouldn't be.
they
yeah.
shouldn't be in, or that it's just sometimes you're like, all right, like that doesn't make sense. How is somebody like that doing what they're doing right now? Which is
Yeah.
why I was telling you earlier. Like
Yeah.
the first question I would always ask people is like,
How'd you get there?
How did you get where you're
Yeah.
at? Like
Yeah.
you're happy, you
man.
enjoy what you do, like, and you seem to completely thrive and like
Be
in their
doing all the
stories.
right things, and then
these
you don't
are-
get it,
yes.
and you see somebody else that don't work for it, and then they get it.
But
Like,
these
whoa,
are
wait a minute.
corporate people, and they're
Yeah.
not MLM. They're not people like, well, let me tell you about this new exotic natural oil that's going to take away all your pain. And
Wait a minute, that's the trick right
What the
there.
fuck?
You know what I'm saying? Like, no. I like listening to people who like actually have a story,
Yeah.
and they're not like, well, I bullshitted my fucking whole family and all my best friends into buying into something. None of them are making money, and guess what? I don't have any more
Yeah.
friends or family anymore. So,
But I'm
Yeah.
rich
you
as fuck.
know, but I'm rich as fuck.
Right?
Yeah,
No,
because they
see,
sold
what-
all their friends and,
Yeah.
and sold their friends, and yeah.
So I've gotten into is selling tools to contractors and contractors
Like a brokering?
need
Like you're
yeah,
brokering?
Yeah,
Yeah.
And contractors need tools, and fucking my first week, it's been 3 days, and I've sold $1,400 worth of shit already.
Yeah, I believe it.
So, and I mean, it's like today was my bad day because I was like, fuck, I didn't sell shit, bro. I kept I made more than 120 fucking calls, bro.
Damn, that's a lot of calls.
100, yeah,
dude.
bro. Everybody kept hanging up on me. I'd put my white voice on too. I'd be like, hello, hey, Steven, this is Leo. Hey, you know, and then
Say Leonard.
Yeah.
Say Leonard.
Dude, my name's Leonard.
My name's Leonard. Dude, you'll sell way more if you say Leonard.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, you will. Yeah, that's so.
Sign me up for 2.
Yeah, yeah.
Damn it, these motherfuckers keep hanging up on me.
Yeah. What are you selling? What are you doing?
Just a bunch of first aid kits. Start off with first aid kits.
It's just different
yes,
packages and all kinds of
Sawzall
stuff.
blades. You get fucking rotor blades. You get fucking safety vests. You can fucking.
Okay.
You can get anything. Any
So
kind
you're
of
not
tools.
selling like ad space. You're not selling
Nah,
like
fuck
one
no.
specific thing. You have like a
Basically,
catalog
yeah.
of things, and you target specific companies.
Yeah, no.
that
So
will respond to that, or
basically,
what?
this guy, bro. I met him the other day, and I met it. So I went to this fucking interview, and he just kept talking shit, and like he was like, I don't mean to brag, but like I make like 6 figures a fucking year.
Mm-hmm.
He's like fucking all this.
So he
shit.
doesn't probably make 6 figures. He's probably like way more in debt.
No,
Because most people who
I
make a
owe
lot of
about
money
6
don't
figures.
usually talk
I
about
owe
how
about
much
6
money they
figures.
make.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
unless they
I've
want somebody to
not-
buy
I don't know,
into.
I believe this fucking
He
guy,
might be
bro.
though. He might be
might.
real, but
This
most people
guy,
don't
like-
come off like that. In
Yeah.
my opinion,
I don't know.
they don't have to prove anything.
You don't have to flaunt
Well,
it to
that's what
just
he was
somebody
saying.
Because
else.
after he
No.
buys your Slurpee for $1.75, he's gonna walk out to his Audi R8
Right?
and he's gonna be like, "Yeah, man, hit me up, dude. I got some dirt bikes. We can go out on the weekend. Maybe
that's the
shoot
thing.
some
Like
fucking
when
golf."
that's what people kept saying. Like I kept telling people, like, "Yo, I got this job, and then they'd be like, "Well, how did your interview go?" And I tell them, and they'd be like, "Well, it kind of sounds to me like he's just trying to sell you, so you can go
Yeah.
in there and sell shit for him, so he can make more money." And you know, and I was like,
It's
Nah.
different though. You're in an
Yeah,
actual business. You're not
right?
like buying in unless you have to
Exactly.
pay to like
No.
actually be a part
No,
of
so
it.
what
Then that's an MLM.
I actually have to do homework and shit. Like I'm fucking spending like 2 hours every night fucking doing homework
Yeah.
and shit.
A little research on what
Well-
you're doing. Huh?
Well,
Yeah.
and this is dude, and you should like,
Yeah.
especially if that's your job, right? The only advice that I can impart on you, as far as just any counsel, having worked in settings where part of my job was selling a product or service. It still is technically, because I do offer a lot of services, and I have access to a lot of resources that are
Yeah.
not in my contract for my client and I, right? But like, dude, honestly, man, like people hate being sold to.
Yeah.
People want to
Fucking hate
people want to buy into something. So you have to catch them on something that maybe they believe in. Like something that they can connect to right off the bat, because then if they feel that there's a connection, they will want to be a part of your success and not
Yeah.
feel like
Yeah.
you're pushing something off, because you can't buy loyalty, right? Like when somebody comes at me and they like tell me about their product or their service,
Yeah.
if I'm truly like interested and I'm like, dude, that is fucking awesome. Can I give you like money? Can I invest in you?
Yeah.
Like, can I help you somehow? Can I put you in front of somebody who
Yeah.
can give you what you need? Like,
Yeah.
is there any way I can help you out? If people try to sell to me, I'm like, hey man, thank you. Can I have your business card? Like, I don't care. Don't try to
Yeah.
sell me something, because like,
Yeah.
I don't know if I want it. Don't tell me I want this.
Exactly.
You know,
yeah.
give me a reason why I should want it, because then they'll tell their friends.
Yeah.
And it's the power of marketing. Like word of mouth is like the most powerful,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the most cost effective form of marketing there is, right? And so,
Well, that's the thing. We start off with first aid kits, and I'm like, I don't want these. I'm like pitching a first aid kit, right? And these guys are like, I don't fucking need them.
what
and I'm
kind
like,
of first aid kits are they? Are they like
they're really
large
good.
ones
Yeah,
for
they're
like?
like the fucking 166 pieces and come with their fucking.
They're
come
like
with
what
their
you
burn
put. They're what you put in the
ornaments.
kitchen or something like that at like
No, like
corporate
in-
offices. That's what
No,
I'm
they
saying. Like
they
on the
come
wall.
in there for like trucks. You mount them in your trucks. You mount them for shops. You know, like to go out in
Just
the
your,
field.
your regular little.
Yeah.
Oh, I got
First
you.
aid
Your
kit.
little first
Yeah,
aid kit
yeah.
with like, but it's like metal boxed, 11 by 8 by 3.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
so-
we have one of those at our at the office,
Okay.
and it's small, but it has like, it's got all the essentials.
Yeah.
Has like your fucking Midol generic and your Tylenol and your aspirin and your ibuprofen, and then it's got your your headache
Definitely worth the
medicine
price,
and
yeah.
gloves and
Yeah.
like it's got it all. It's got everything. It's
Mhm.
very basic, but it's like enough.
Oh yeah, fuck
Dude,
yeah.
I got in a motorcycle accident. And speaking of first aid kits, you can use this as a story. You can tell people.
That's what the guy told me. He's
Yeah.
like, he's
I got a
like,
great
"These
story."
stories.
Yeah, dude, I got great stories, man. Dude, I got hit going 60 miles an hour head on my motorcycle on Eagle
Shut
Road.
the fuck
I went
up.
78 feet before I touched the fucking ground, and then I went 102 feet before I stopped on my back, dude. And I
Wow.
walked away. I had no ride. I walked home after they cleared me on scene. Totaled my fucking motorcycle, ripped it in half,
the
and I hit a
fuck?
mid-size Kia Sorento, like they're like a mid-size SUV.
Yeah.
And I hit it going 60 miles an hour, dude. Head on. They turned
Damn.
right into my shit when it was rush hour. It was 5:42 or something like that. Like
Holy
right after work,
shit,
I'm going home.
that's the time.
Fortunately, the girl right behind me, she was a nurse in the offices that are right below my offices. We got off work at about the same time.
Yeah.
So she was just basically following me home because she lives down in this area, I guess. But yeah, dude, hit him head on, dude. You're going 60 miles an hour. It was crazy, and I walked away. I like literally got up and I'm walking home. I'm like, fuck, man. I have people coming over to my house right
Shut
now.
the
It's
fuck
dirty.
up.
Yeah,
Dude, I
dead
gotta say this,
serious,
man.
I should clean my house.
I definitely
So
gotta say this, man.
crazy.
I don't know how this comes off, but it's always the white boys that do some crazy shit.
Crazy shit, bro.
It's always
Dude,
do
that
some
was the
crazy
first,
shit.
dude. That
Walk
was the
home.
second
Nigga,
time,
what the
dude.
fuck?
No, dude. The first time, getting to the first aid thing. All right, so like I'm going to work. Just bought this new bike. It was an SV650S. I had like put a lot of work into it, like
Yeah.
custom exhaust, like like some quick shifters, like a quick like a short shift and a quick clutch. Like I put some money in this thing. It was fucking ballsy, bro. First 650S, like it was probably pushing close to like 800 at that point, and like I'm fucking cruising, bro, and like it's rush hour in the morning, going to work, going down Eagle northbound, and like the car in front of me slams on their brakes, and
No
I had
way.
just got this bike, so I didn't really know the differential between like the front and the back brake and
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
pressure going 3 miles an hour because we're all flying. It's rush hour, nobody's on the road. We're all
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
flying. So like going 63, dude, because I looked down as they fucking slam on their brakes. I look down so that I can just fucking downshift and just look at my body,
Yeah.
right? So I try to downshift because I always downshifted, and then I'd hit the brakes to help it, like the transition, like slow you down a lot
Yeah, start
quicker, but
slowing you
very
down,
smooth. Yeah, like I always downshift, right? So like I try to downshift, but then they slammed on their brakes, so they start skidding. Well, I look over to my left. I'm boxed in. I got a car right behind me. I got a car on my left. And the only thing next to me is like a street, just right over here by Target. So my front brake locks up, dude, and it fucking locks and turns, and it kicks me out into the side street. My bike just goes like tits up, sliding all the way down Eagle Road.
Wow.
I'm fucking just skipping around like a rock, dude, and I'm fucking.
But you know what, dude? A lot of people say that you don't have a lot of time to react or to say what you're thinking. But you know what? Sometimes time slows
Sometimes you do,
down.
man. It
Time,
does,
time
dude.
slows down, and
I got
I want to
stories
ask you,
about that.
what was going through your mind when you knew you were about to hit that? If you weren't gonna make it, or
All right, so I knew I was safe on this one because I was kicked into a street and I could see myself. The problem was I wasn't wearing gear that was like, because it was a side street that was, it had the they were doing the fucking re-rocking the top of it.
Yeah, so it was kinda-
So it was
shit.
way rough,
Yeah.
dude. They were chipping it, yeah.
Yeah.
So that was pretty rough, and it cut through my gloves, and it fucked my hands up, dude. Through my gloves, through my pants, and I can tell you a little bit more. I'll get to the last part of it. But, like, so the whole time on that one, to be honest with you, man, all I saw was me just going down the street and just to stay limp. Because I
Yeah.
used to skateboard, and, like, I know how to fall, fortunately, and as a
Yeah.
bigger dude, like, if you tense up, man, you that's when you really fuck your shit up, dude. So when I got hit by the car, that's when everything slowed down. I was talking to my girlfriend on the phone, chatting with her on the phone. I'm trying to get home because I have a film crew coming to my house to film like a pilot for Amazon, like the Amazon Prime, right?
Yeah.
So like I have these people coming over. I need to get home so I can clean my fucking house because there's gonna be like 12 people at my house. And I didn't have a studio, nothing like this. It was like totally old school right after I'd gotten divorced. And like, so I'm on my way home. My ex-girlfriend, she's on the phone. She's like stressing me out because she's a photographer and she's got to go and do some stuff. And she's like making me feel bad that I'm not hanging out there, right? So I'm fucking stressing out, dude. And I'm trying to fly, which was I was going like 60 miles an hour. So I'm fucking cruising, but it's 55 down Eagle, you know? Like I'm not going crazy, but I'm definitely like
definitely fast
I'm
enough to
moving.
not
Yeah,
want to
I'm
wreck.
on a motorcycle and I'm moving, but I'm very aware of like my surroundings. Yeah, dude, and I'm flying down the right lane. The two left lanes are backed up, and they let a car through. They've blocked off all these like lanes now because of all the accidents, like the majority of them. But like they let this car in, not even thinking about it, and I hit her just at the perfect spot. I'm on the phone with my girlfriend, and all I remember thinking is, oh shit, and I see this front end of this car going, and then I feel it buckle, like I feel the car kind of buckle and turn me, and I don't remember flying, but I remember landing on the ground and sliding and trying to like avoid the curb, because the whole time I'm like, I don't want to hit the curb, because that would really fucking hurt, dude. Like, that would hurt. That would break any fucking bone, dude.
Yeah.
Right?
Full
so
force.
I'm going, dude, 60 miles an hour, dude. You know, like, you fucking hit it pretty hard, and that's concrete, dude.
Yeah.
Even if you clip it, that shit'll fuck you up. So, like, I have, like, a pretty big wallet, and I was wearing some nice dress slacks and, like, some nice leather shoes, like dress shoes and shit. So, surprisingly, all my gear held up. But, all right, so back to slow motion. There's a car coming out of the parking lot as I'm sliding. So I see a car coming.
Whoa.
Yeah,
what?
dude. Yeah. So I'm thinking, oh my god, I don't want to get hit by a car right now. Yeah, I was like, fuck, man, I don't want to get hit by a car right now. So I'm fucking sliding, literally trying to like stop myself.
Yeah.
But I'm also like thinking, I know it's not going to happen. I just need to like position myself. Somehow, when I hit the curb, it hit me right where the wallet was, like right where my wallet was on the hip, and it ripped the pocket out, but it flipped me up on my back, and I slid probably like 20 feet on the grass on my backpack. Damn. And I was just like laying there, dude. And I was thinking, am I dead? Because I hear people fucking screaming, dude. Like, people are like, oh my god, you know, like, he's dead! Yeah, people are freaking the fuck out. Like, I literally just, like, my motorcycle was ripped in half, bro. Like, completely ripped in half. I ripped the whole front end. It's a 640 pounds that hit that car in the front. And it's a fucking Kia, bro. Like, come on. Like, dude, you hit a fucking toddler, you're going to have to get some shit redone on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, dude, ripped the whole fucking front off. This lady's freaking out, crying and shit. And I'm, like, laying there. And I'm like, oh, my God. I wiggle my toes. I'm like, all right, I think I'm okay. And then I, like, look up and I hear people, don't have, like, ambulance is coming, like, blah, blah. And so I'm, like, laying there. And I was like, do I look broken? Because I was still mad that I had to get home.
Oh, you were Mr. Potato
I was thinking, like, I got to get the fuck home right now. Like, I'm pissed off. I gotta get home.
My bike.
I can feel
Let me put it back together.
Yeah, dude. So, I'm like looking up, and I have like a halo of heads, dude. A bunch of people pulled off, you know, to make sure I was okay. Brought my fucking one of my GoPros to me that did not have it fucking recorded. I have everything afterwards recorded on my old computer, but I don't have the actual wreck. Yeah, because I dude, I don't even want to talk about it.
That would have been...
Dude, honestly, the first and only time that I've ever, like, not turned that on was the one time I got hit. Yeah. Well, I've got the police report, though, and what people say is crazy. Like, it's interesting.
This motherfucker was flying!
Was it a bird? Was it a plane? I don't know. Maybe a motorcyclist. What the fuck?
I have a little crazy story like that, too. When I was about maybe 18, I was married to my first wife, and our baby was about 9 months old. We were coming over here. Her parents used to live over here by Garrity. Mm-hmm. There used to be a street right there, right in front of that winkle called Comstock. Anyway, that Saturday we were supposed to go fishing, and I lived in Star, but her parents lived over there, so we went over there to go drop off my baby over there to make sure that. And they told us no, like they couldn't take care of him. So I was like, well, let's just take him fishing. So on our way back, I came down over here through what is that, like the cheese factory, that Star Road? Mm-hmm. Right before we get to, Chinden? Well, I was fucking around. I was going on, we had just bought a little Honda Prelude. And I was fucking around going on the opposite side of the road. Oh my God. Going about 50, 60 miles an hour. That's the speed limit. Thinking there's nobody in sight. I mean, this is back in 92, 93. Mm-hmm. There's nobody in sight.
Old country roads,
yeah, no old country, man. There's really no subdivisions, no nothing. Just nothing out there. So I was going, and my wife was just pretty pissed off. I was just like, what do you, stop fucking around, drive right. And I was on the opposite side of the road, like, just fucking around, man, being a kid, being stupid. And she got so mad, and she goes, you know what? Just fucking stop right here. She fucking pulled the steering wheel and going 55, 60 miles an hour. So the tires locked. The tires locked, and I went and I hit directly into a concrete barrier. head on first.
Damn.
And we flipped twice. And my baby flew out through the windshield. He flew out through the windshield and made a big old hole through the windshield. And she flew out through the door. God. And she went maybe 30 feet from the car, because I landed, with the wheels up and stuff. And I was the only one that stayed in the car. Everybody, they
was
both.
Anybody else buckled in?
Nobody was. She had, before I started doing that, she got him out of the car seat because he was crying. He wanted to be held and stuff, and she got him out of the car seat and she had him sitting down. This is why he flew out through the windshield, because when we hit,
she was just holding him, trying to calm him down.
Yeah, she was holding him in her legs as we were driving. I gotta say, man, back in the day, especially a lot of us didn't believe in car seats. We did whatever. Sometimes we'd go on car rides and nobody. Had a car
Nobody
seat.
Wanted to wear a seatbelt until
nobody cared.
10 years ago.
And now we see like, damn, we survived that shit.
We should have worn seatbelts.
Yeah. So, he flew out, and she flew out. And I remember my first instinct. The reason why I was asking you that question earlier is because I remember it perfectly. When she pulled the steering wheel and while I was going towards hitting the concrete barrier, time just slowed down. Like I knew, I was like, what did I do? This is probably the biggest mistake I did. And so as we hit, I remember going, the car turning over and stuff, and I blacked out for a minute. And the only thing I remember is just nobody was in the car. It was upside down. It was like, shit, it happened. It really happened. I'm in a wreck. And there was nobody in the car.
Could you hear your kid crying?
Well,
or anything?
I started screaming. Like just out of control screaming, And I took myself out of the car.
How were you screaming though? Like, was it like
I was screaming like a little bitch? I was screaming. I was just out of my mind,
or like angry screams. Kinda?
I was just panicked. I couldn't believe I couldn't believe that.
Yeah,
that was in that situation. So I got out of the car.
Oh, dude.
I got out of the car, man. I started looking, and you could still see the powder. You still see the, where you hit. You can see all the dirt. That going everywhere.
Was there anybody around?
There was nobody around. So the first thing I heard was I heard my baby crying, and he was just, he was just crying, and I couldn't see where he was at. So I started looking everywhere because at that time I was panicked. I didn't know what to do
anywhere.
So. What happened was, this is about maybe a quarter mile before you get from Star Road, before you get to Chinden, I believe, and that concrete barrier is still there, and there's still that chunk missing where I hit it. They've never taken it out. It's still there.
What the fuck?
Well,
damn.
When I hit it, he flew out and he went into a horse corral and landed right next to a little ditch, which had a lot of rocks next to it and stuff. When I finally found him, his hands were up like this, and he was looking upwards towards the road, and just crying. His face was all bleeding and stuff, and
I had no idea what was going on.
he was 9 months old.
Yeah.
So he was 9 months old, man, and I panicked. So I crossed the barbed wire fence, because they had some horses and stuff in there, but they were kind of like further away. So I jumped the fence, and I go get him, and I carry him back. By that time, this Hispanic lady and her mom pulled up, and they started helping me. They got the baby, and this farmer guy pulled up too, and they helped me cross over. And I was wearing shorts, so I got caught in that barbed wire fence. I still got all the where I got caught, getting all those stitches and stuff. Well, I crossed over, and I was just out of control, just crying, and he's like, because I couldn't find my wife. I didn't know where she was.
Mm-hmm.
She landed next to a telephone pole. That's where she was. And by the time I went over there and I seen where she was. People were more people was gathering around and stuff.
Was she unconscious?
Well, she was unconscious for like 3-4 days. Yeah,
wow.
For 3-4 days they had to do some stuff to her. They had a drill in her head to kind of relieve the pressure because her brain was swelling up and stuff. And
was she like in a coma?
She was in a coma for about 2-3 days.
Wow.
So it's a very, very intense situation, man, at that time, because I knew, man, not only did I cause this, but damn, I could possibly lose either my wife or my kid, and
But
how the
honestly,
hell
man,
do you
she's only
live?
grabbed the wheel.
Well, yeah, but you know the way
That's
I thought
pretty
about it, I
intense.
shouldn't have been fucking playing in the first place
That's
on the
true.
road. And so there was and when I asked you that is because all those thoughts came into my head in such a short time, and I was thinking, I thought about all that in less than before the even cops came. I was like, God, man, what did I do? Like, you know, this is
That's like super overwhelming, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Luckily to say, you know, my son, he only got like 3-4 stitches on his head.
So he's good.
He was good, man. He was
Good.
released that day. They kept him overnight, but she was in there for about a week.
Well, babies are gonna bounce anyway.
Yeah, well, the good thing, he was
they
a baby.
Do. They just bounce, yeah.
You know, and that's
man.
probably the best thing for
because they
him.
go limp. They don't like think anything's
They
going
don't-
on. Yeah.
And I think that's
And
probably
they would
what-
have no idea that it had even happened. They would just be like, they're in the field all of a sudden and be like, my
And
head
so
hurts.
now,
Where's Mom?"
if you see
Yeah.
Andreas, he'll have a scar on his head, which has never gone away,
Huh.
and it'll always be there.
That's
And
crazy.
That's his scar, you know. And
Wear your seatbelts, everybody.
yeah,
That was your
don't-
first
Don't do what I
wife?
do, man.
That was your first wife that you got married to at like 17?
That was Carolina. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Dang, that's crazy, man. Well, I'm glad like everybody survived.
Oh my
Because
god!
that
I
is
know. I've heard a very
absolutely
fucking-
horrific story.
Yeah, it was.
I've
It turned
never
out to
heard
be
this part of
actually
the
a good one.
story.
But yeah.
I've never heard
Dude.
of this fucking.
You want to hear a crazy story? Check this out. So, like, this friend that I have, her cleaning lady, I don't know where she's from in Mexico, but I know she fled from there years ago because of, like, the drug influence and violence of, like, the gangs and stuff, right, where
Yeah.
she was living. So she came here, and she had a son who was married to this lady, and he went out to go fishing. They have a 6-year-old kid. He's from, like, Napa, I think.
Yeah.
And she was telling me the story because I was like, dude, I've read this story on the news. But I guess what happened was he went out fishing and he didn't come home that day. And they found him next to the train tracks that were kind of close to like where the fishing hole was, or the river or lake or pond or wherever he was.
Yeah.
But they found him just in pieces, like on
What?
like next
What
to the
fuck?
railroad. Yeah, like they don't know like why would you get hit by
Yeah.
a train, you know, unless like I mean you can hear a fucking train. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I've been
Yeah.
on a lot of shit,
Yeah.
and I have been on a different level in life. Not once would I have ever been like, dude, I couldn't hear a train right now.
Right?
You know, like
you can see
I
that
definitely
motherfucker
see
coming.
that, man.
I have a friend who got hit by a train, and he survived. We used to call him the Tin Man because he was just all made out
Yeah.
of metal at that point. You know, like half his body. He survived. But he
Yeah, I was locked up with the kid that got ran over here. In fact, here in Nampa, and he was missing some toes and stuff. And then it just so happened that there was another guy that was in there that said he saw it. He was like, "Yeah, I was in. I know this kid since he was little. I'm good friends with his dad. I was actually there that day." But when they would tell that story,
How
I
the
didn't
fuck
believe
you-
it. But until he took his shoes off. And then I see the motherfucker don't have three toes or whatever. Like, oh, maybe you did get ran over by a train.
Damn.
Yeah,
But
maybe.
it's like, you know,
Dude, trains will fuck you up,
Yeah.
man.
So what happened to him? How did he end up in pieces?
They don't know. They have no idea. I'm like, dude, that guy had to have been doing some like shady shit.
yeah.
You don't just end up dead
In
on the fucking
pieces,
train
man, yeah.
tracks. Like, you just don't. Yeah, you just don't. Like, I'm sorry, man.
Fuck.
There's not
Yeah.
enough drugs or alcohol in the world that can convince
No,
me
you-
that
you-
somebody literally went and just laid down on some train tracks.
Somebody
Like,
was definitely trying to
Yeah.
make a point.
that
you know,
dude
you
was
know,
murdered straight up, probably just
executed.
execution style, man. They probably just laid his body out on the tracks and just let it kind of take care of itself. You know what's even really sad? His wife at the time that he died, so they had a 6-year-old kid. She just died like a couple weeks ago on the back of a motorcycle. She fell off,
What?
dude.
Shut
Yeah,
the
so the
fuck
guy riding the
up.
bike, like he hit. I think he hit the barrier or like
Yeah.
something happened. But she was kicked off. No helmet. Neither of them. He's fine. But like, and by fine, he's alive. He's got a pulse. But like, no, she died on site.
So let me ask you this. So, when was the earliest time in your life that you seen a dead body, or that you seen something so crazy? Because I gotta say, where I come from, I got to see a lot of shit that I didn't want to see at a very early age,
Probably.
and I don't know if that kind of had an effect in the way things played out in my life, but I definitely know that I seen a lot that
Yeah.
a lot of kids shouldn't have.
I'm sure it
done.
impacts you a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like when I tell some people some of the shit I've seen growing up, and they're like blown away, like some of the crazy stuff. Cause dude, I mean, I played football in college with like people who were like they were treetop bloods from like North Carolina or South Carolina. Yeah. Like we would like go down on the weekends when we have bye week, and it's like a trap house, dude. They've got like 4 ovens in the basement. They're all cooking a bunch of fucking meth. They got like trash bags full of fucking drugs, you know, and like. And they're just bringing people over the house, and you're there for 2 days. And like for me, I'm like just this like white dude from Boise, Idaho, with like a bunch of Polynesian dudes and like some black dudes from Treetop Hood, like and they're having me take their photos like back in the day. I have a couple of photos, they're funny. Those guys were cool though, man. But like, dude, like life is crazy, man.
Yeah,
like,
well,
and nobody would even think it, but it's like, dude, like for me, that's just like how I grew up. Like that's just what I knew. Those are the friends I had, like,
the thing I see kind of different. I mean, I had the best of both worlds, right? I mean, my dad was from Texas, my mom was from Mexico, but I lived in a place where I'm only 8 miles away from the border. So I was at a border.
Like right there, yeah.
I was right at the border. So we would cross the border all the time to go visit family and stuff. So at times that we would go over there, it would never fail that we would see a murder or somebody had just gotten murdered. And it's not like here that they, put the yellow line around. No, man, it's like
they're just there.
You're just there, right there on top of the body, man, poking it or whatever, looking at it, whatever, and seeing how this guy got mangled up, and then, so I got to see a lot of corpses, thinking, and my parents were kind of like thinking like it was okay for you to get closer, like this shit happens.
Yeah, it's like
all right,
it's what you're like. It's what they're probably used to.
He's just dead.
It's just
leave him alone,
man.
It's just doing his thing, It's just this is one of those things.
Look with your eyes, not with your hands.
Yeah. Wash your hands before.
Yeah, exactly.
But I guess the worst one that I seen, and that actually wasn't over there. That was actually here in Idaho. That was here in Caldwell. I was about maybe 13. I was visiting. We were actually at my sister's house, and she stays out over here in Caldwell by that little town called Houston. I don't know what this. They call it Houston, but it's just part of Caldwell.
Houston.
It's just like a small
they got their own little
rural area.
They got their own little what do you call it? Mailbox or whatever. I mean, their own. It's a little
area
town.
code?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they don't got their area code. Their own little town and stuff. Yeah, but it's
or not area code, zip code.
Yeah.
Yeah, their own zip code. Like
it's
their own
it's in between
area.
Caldwell and Marsing.
Never
and
even heard of it.
It's called Houston.
Oh, okay.
So back in the day, she worked for this farmer, and my brother-in-law worked for him and for many years, and we went out there on a Sunday and we were helping her do some yard work and stuff. And this was back in 92, 91. So this guy pulls up, like maybe about a quarter mile away from the house, and of course there's nothing out there, nothing but fields, so you can see quite a ways out there. And all we see is a guy in a truck pulls up, and 2 guys get out. We didn't think nothing of it. Everybody kept on working and stuff. And we hear this sound. I don't know if you've ever heard pallets. When you drop a pallet on top of another one, it sounds like a gunshot. And it's kind of what we thought, and so nobody thought nothing of it. And about maybe 10 minutes later, this guy comes up to the house with a trench coat and asks my brother-in-law if he can give him a ride to Marsing. And my brother-in-law, I don't want to say this on there, but he's gonna be like, whatever. You'll say yes to anything. So he gave him a ride, and my older brother, was there, and he kind of thought something was up. So he was like, well, I'm not gonna let him go by himself. I'm gonna go with him. And this guy got in the middle. My brother-in-law was driving, and my brother got in the passenger side. And they take this guy to Marsing. Well, while they were taking this guy to Marsing, my sister goes, hey, take the 3-wheeler and go out there, because it looks like a guy's laying there, like he's working on his truck. Go out there and go see if he's okay, if he needs help, but don't stop. If you see anything, just keep on going.
Yeah.
So I cut through one of the fields.
Some mules out there.
Yeah.
Pushing products. Yeah, man.
So I go through the fields, and I go all the way around, and by the time I get to this guy, I'm pulling up to this truck. I see a body laying down there, and I'm thinking he's working on his truck, because both doors are open, and the guy is laying underneath the door, right? And I'm thinking,
like
well,
changing something out or
yeah, I'm thinking,
fixing something.
he's fixing something. You know,
Yeah.
I never even seen the other guy go to the house because I was inside when he came and asked for a ride. So I never knew there was another dude. So when I pulled up to it, well, I go up to this guy's head was blown completely off. Like his face was blown. This part of his face was gone. He had this
Like a
and
shotgun
well,
shot blast
the
or
guy shot him with a 12 gauge at point blank.
Oh,
He shot him at
damn.
point blank right there, and then apparently it was his brother-in-law. These guys were two dudes from Mexico, and they were out here working, and they had some beef back in Mexico. And apparently this guy already had killed his dad, so he came over here to the States,
to kill this dude for revenge.
and he killed his son too. So I don't know what
Oh.
beef they
Holy
had
shit.
so
back.
he killed two people in the
He
same
killed two.
family.
So yeah. So this is people back from a certain either village or whatever it was back over there, and they had some beef that really was deep, and they
like tribal beef.
they had to come over here and settle it. And
So you guys helped this guy escape.
well, check it out. It's still my sister.
just thinking.
My sister has still the because it was on KTVB on Channel 7, and we still have that video where it came out on the news and everything. So I pulled up to this guy and I seen this guy, and I had seen dead bodies, but I had never seen anything
like that.
like that. I mean, his brains were out, everything was out.
Yeah.
So
Damn, fuck.
I slammed, I just floored it on that 3-wheeler, went back home. I got there and everybody was working out in the yard, and hey, everything's all right. And I couldn't hold my breath because I was going so fast, the air was coming in my mouth, and I was like, this guy there, and my other sister, she overreacts for everything, like, and I was like, the guy, he shot, like, oh my God, you got shot, and she thought I got shot. I was like, no, I didn't get shot. The guy got shot. He's fucking dead. So they called the cops. My brother-in-law and my brother were still out there taking this guy, so they had no clue. Because this guy had a trench coat, had his 12 gauge right here in between his all.
You could have just easily stolen that car and offed everybody.
I don't know if the truck broke down and then they got into an argument or what the deal was, but he ended up shooting him, and he ended up walking over there for a ride. And my brother-in-law and my brother ended up taking him to Marching, to this labor camp that's over there. Well, this guy was so drunk, he went in there to somebody else's house. He put his 12 gauge on top of a closet, and he went out to a tree and just sat there and just fell asleep. And that's how they caught him. And he was just sitting there, just sitting there, just chilling, man, just waiting for,
Yeah.
He just fell asleep like nothing. Like he had done something that he was meant to do, and my job's done.
Yeah, like he was possessed,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden he's just like,
take me,
nah,
it's like,
That's fucking nuts, dude.
Yeah, it's a crazy story, man. And then I'm like, man, that was here in Caldwell back in 92, 91, somewhere on there.
Dude, I was at a party with my friend where he shot himself in the head. That was crazy.
No.
Yeah.
Did you see
Playing
it?
Russian roulette. I actually had just seen him at this party down at like Boise State. This is 2005, maybe 2004, but most likely 05. And like I saw him. I used to skate with this guy. And like I saw him as I was leaving. He went inside and we were just chatting and whatnot. And like I went in the front yard, saw a few other people. We started chatting. Like literally within like 5 minutes, we hear a gunshot. And like I fucking just take off. I'm like, I'm out of here, dog. Like, I don't fucking know what's going on. I don't know this party. I don't know. I was invited here, so I just started running. So I take off down the street. Well, the next day, some of the people I worked with knew the kid who shot himself. Well, his name was Tim, but it was Tim Smith. But and I had seen some of my coworkers there that night too, and all they heard was Tim killed himself. A guy named Tim killed himself. So my coworkers thought I shot myself in the head.
Yeah.
But he's playing like Russian roulette. Yeah, dude. I literally just talked to that dude. I was like, "What's up, man? How's life? Oh, we should go skate together." Yeah, totally, man. And I walk outside, say hi to a couple chicks that I had known with my buddy, and then all of a sudden we hear just one gunshot, and we're like, "Dude, peace out, dude. Like, I'm not dealing with this." Yeah, dude.
That's crazy.
Why would
man.
you even play that?
I don't know. He was playing. It was two dudes, and they were like just playing, I guess, in like the kitchen or something like that.
Yeah.
Just a little
Man.
38, little snub nose, man.
That's fucked up.
Yeah,
crazy.
it's wild.
I don't think I would ever play that game.
That's kind of a crazy thing, man.
You'd be surprised what you do when you're when you're in an environment like that. You know, sometimes we do some
Yeah.
stupid shit.
Or on
so
a lot
many
of drugs.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
I've
Sometimes.
done so many, and I've never thought about.
I haven't
I'm
either.
just gonna fucking play Russian roulette. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what
I haven't
the
either.
fuck?
You know, I
I
think
can't say I've gotten to that point either.
yeah, you know, like I think people who do that, there's a lot of different things. I'm not a psychiatrist, not a psychologist,
Yeah.
but I would assume like
You've been playing with that
they're
thought for a while.
Yeah, and they crave attention. They want people to
Yeah.
pay attention to them, and they don't care about their lives. Like
Yeah.
if they get shot, they're like whatever. It's an unintentional suicide. You know, like they
Yeah.
don't care. It's like somebody who's an alcoholic who's like, I don't care if it's gonna kill me. I'm gonna drink until I die. I'm not drinking to kill myself, but I'm gonna drink until I die. If it
Yeah.
kills me, it kills me.
Yeah.
And if it kills them, that's like you know, like they're not
Yeah.
trying to kill themselves. So I don't give a fuck. You know? Same with the dude who
They're
like
gone
takes a gun
anyways.
in, yeah, you know, spins a
Yeah.
revolver and you know bites down on a bullet. Like I don't know. That's how I feel. Like there's obviously some very deep rooted issues
Oh,
in those
yeah.
individuals that they
Yeah.
have not been able to cope with.
I wanted
And
to
it's
get
very
into
sad.
psychology and shit.
No, you don't, man.
No.
You don't want to deal with other people's problems.
I don't want to deal with other people's problems, but I want to be able to get into someone's brain and like just kind of understand. Not
Shit,
like-
man, I want to get into
you
my
know?
own brain, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll,
that shit
yeah, I'll
is-
get in my
Uh,
own brain, man. I don't know.
I'm just kind of.
I respect that, but dude, honestly, I would not want to deal with other people's problems. I can't
Well-
even deal with my own problems right now.
I had a job not too long ago, which you know about. You were out there too, out in McCall.
Yeah.
But I
pretty,
respect
pretty,
it.
pretty,
yeah.
pretty
Fuck
awesome.
yeah. It's very interesting.
Pretty awesome job we had out there. And anyhow, my boss that was there, he was a really awkward, really weird individual. Like he's
Like his social manners or
well,
something?
man, he was not social with anybody. He's just man, he was on a whole
weird.
different level weird. And
He looked like tweaked out without the drugs.
yeah, he was.
Really?
You know, this guy. By the
He's
time you got
probably
to
a
the job
product of the
site,
system, man, he probably was on a bunch of fucking.
well, apparently, I mean,
Fuck
I
him
think
up.
he was on heroin for a while. And what is that drug that they put you?
Methadone.
Yeah, methadone. He had been on methadone for almost 6 years.
Whoa.
So I don't know what the deal was because I know when they wing you off of that, they don't.
Doesn't take 6
It
years.
doesn't take 6
Well,
years for
shouldn't
that.
take
So
6 years. I don't know.
so I know he was. Everybody knew he was on that. But I the way he acted was totally the opposite of what that does to you because he totally acted cracked out, like
He did.
totally cracked out.
He probably was doing a lot of crack to kind of balance. Well, maybe
Probably.
not crack, but an upper of some kind.
Of some kind, yeah. Well, this guy went. I tried to understand him, you know, because we had some run-ins at first, and you know, when I got hired on there, they fired one of the foremen and they put me in there, and you know, but me and him crashed because he just couldn't handle his shit. He was about to get fired, and because of that, because he just couldn't get his shit together. Well, one day we were at the cabin and I was like, hey man, you know, I just want what's going on with you, man? Like, what's wrong with you? And man, the story he was trying to tell me, he was like, you know what? My dad never raised me, and my uncle raised me, and you know, I really loved that man, and this and that, and you know, he ended up shooting himself in front of me. And when he was telling me that story, I was like,
Dude, I'll tell you a story I heard today too. It's very interesting. It's very
Yeah.
similar to this. This is crazy.
and I was like, okay, well, you know, I was hearing him his story, and he was like, you know, I had to get a lot of therapy for that. You know, I started seeing the psychiatrist that I really connected with, and he ended up killing himself. He ended up shooting himself the same way, you know. And I'm thinking, oh my God, man, can it get any worse? Like, how is the guy that's listening to you
Yeah,
ended
the
up
guy who's
killing
helping himself kills himself.
like, you know what I mean?
The same way.
Yeah, and his psychiatrist shot himself the same way his uncle did.
Wow. Dude, that's nuts,
So
man.
I could understand why he was so crazy, so out there, but you know, I've never been in a situation where I meet somebody like that.
Yeah, you know, and I think I literally had this conversation today, and this girl that I know, she was telling me a story about her friend's uncle who basically raised her because her dad died at a young age.
Yeah.
And it was Christmas Day, and everybody's inside opening gifts, like all the kids, all the grandkids, you know. She's got 2 daughters there, and this guy, I guess, was just like pacing back and forth, like through the kitchen, like a really bad anxiety.
Yeah.
like kind of like weird anxiety, like somebody's gonna come in or like he's waiting for somebody, you know, and like he starts pacing and he goes out in the backyard and he starts pacing and pacing. I guess he did like laps and he just kept doing it. Well, everybody's inside like opening their gifts. Well, I guess this girl had gone out in the backyard. This guy grabbed a gun, and so this girl goes out to be like, dude, is everything okay? Like, why do you have a fucking gun right now? Kind of thing, you know? And he's like, I just can't do it anymore. And she's like, what are you talking about? Like, I have 2 kids in here. Like, you've got 3 or 4 grandkids, however many. I think they said like 3 or 4 grandkids. But she had 2 for sure. And, like, this is her friend on Christmas this last year, right? And, like, the guy just, within a split second, just puts the gun to his head and fucking blows his brains out in front of his niece.
Yeah,
like,
I know, that's messed
basically
up.
who he... Yeah, dude.
You know, you're going to do something like
On
that.
Christmas Day.
Go
And the kids,
somewhere else.
exactly,
You know, go do
dude.
your own thing. Like,
And
you know.
and she was like, you know what? It's people like that, like... It makes you want to have to believe that they are possessed.
Yeah,
That is like
yeah.
demonic. Like
It
that
has
is
to be.
something that goes against all of our natural instincts.
Yeah.
Suicide goes against all of our natural instincts. If suicide was instinctual, we would have all died off as a species by now because we would have all killed ourselves. You know?
Yeah.
This is a crazy story. So it has to do with suicide. So back in Arizona, I was doing a lot of drugs. It was bad. It was so bad. And so I was doing a lot of meth. Okay. And then, at the same time that I was doing that, I had found fucking 16 grams of heroin.
Whoa.
16 grams of heroin. Okay. And so I almost fucking did heroin. I went out to my phone. I went onto YouTube and I fucking looked it up. And I was like, "How do you do heroin?" So I fucking went
Lots
to the
of
bathroom.
ways.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I went to the
I've had a
bathroom.
couple friends
I
attack
had
from
this.
heroin.
Yeah, bro. I fucking went to the
Scary.
bathroom. I grabbed the heroin. I had this big ass rock, like this big, bro.
Yeah.
Huge. And then it was just like this big ass slab. And then so I fucking went in there with a spoon. My mom was diabetic, so she fucking had syringes laying around the house. So I just fucking picked one up, grabbed the cotton, everything.
First time you ever done heroin, you just slammed it?
Well, no, that's the thing. I was in the fucking bathroom and I was like, fuck, what should I do? And I was like, no, fuck this shit. And I fucking threw it all away. Not the heroin. I threw the fucking spoon away, the fucking cotton, the needle and everything. And so after I threw it away, I was like, all right, I smoked some of it. You know, I was like, I'm not gonna fucking get rid of this and fucking not try it.
Yeah.
And so I went to my dealer's house, right, and I fucking traded it for what I was addicted to, which was meth, right. And so I was doing this shit forever, right? Because I traded 16 grams of heroin, so I could just go over to his house anytime and get fucking free meth.
Yeah. So I could stay up for like days
dude,
instead of sleep for days.
I was up for fucking 7 days, bro. 7 days
Yeah,
in
no
a
doubt,
row.
man.
And so I was feeling all fucked up, bro. I was feeling all fucked off. And so eventually it came down to like where I was like, all right, fucking, I can't do this shit anymore and all this. And I was just feeling like really suicidal and all this. And so me and my kid's mom were like arguing a lot and all that. And I just couldn't handle it anymore. And I was like, fuck it. And so I went into the bathroom and I grabbed my fucking shoelaces and I tied my shoelaces together. And she was like, what are you doing in there? And I was like, fuck you. I was just high as fuck off my mind. And I fucking grabbed the shoelaces. I tied them both together. And I don't know how the fuck I thought this through. And I was just high as fuck. So I tied it to the outside of the door, right? I made a knot, tied it to the outside of the doorknob, threw the shoestring over the door, okay? Once I threw the shoestring over the door, it was long enough because there was 2 fucking shoestrings. I grabbed the shoestrings and I tied them around my neck, right? And then I was like, all right, fuck it, this is it. Boom. Yeah, and I let myself go. And the shoestrings didn't fucking rip. They fucking tightened.
Oh,
They
shit.
tightened
So it
so
worked.
fucking tight. It worked. It damn sure as hell worked.
I mean, if you're gonna do it,
Right?
just
So-
make sure it works.
yeah,
Yeah, you're gonna get your ass
bro.
beat.
So, no, it
Fuck yeah.
definitely fucking worked. And I fucking boom. And I was like,
Maybe I should get up.
well,
Maybe
no,
I should
that's
get
the
up.
thing that I was like, I was fine with it. I was like, fuck it, this is it.
Yeah.
And I was like, And then like the
Oh,
last
so
moments
this is
of
what
my,
it feels like for Tiffany.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, so it was like my last moments, and I was just thinking, I was like, fuck, and I was like, I can't do this, and I was like trying to take it off, and I could. It's a shoestring, so it tightened. Hella
Yeah,
tight.
super tight.
That shit was like inside my neck. It fucking like. At the end of it, I had this big ass scar all the way across my neck from it, like slicing my whole neck from my body weight and shit. And so I was like trying to take it off, right? And I was like, I couldn't get it. And then finally I went out. I just remember, like, I don't remember going out, but I remember coming back. And all I heard was, I guess I was out for like a whole minute and shit. And all I heard was banging on the door, boom, 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 boom. And my kid's mom was yelling and shit, like, what are you fucking doing in there? And I just remember coming back. I opened my eyes and I was like, I started yelling. I was
taking
just
a
like,
piss, man.
No, I was yelling. I don't know why the fuck I was yelling so loud. Like on the fucking.
Because you were methed out, probably.
Yeah, I was fucked
Probably
up.
fucked up.
I just died, bro. No joke. Like.
Yeah, resurrected, man.
No joke. Cause like every time, like when I think back to it, I think back to like when I was out of it. All I could think in my head was like, so when they say, you know, you see the bright light at the end of the fucking tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the bright light, but it wasn't like I was going towards it. Everything just went white, and then all I seen was a bunch of people. Like it was just like a big slideshow. It was just like,
Yeah,
just
everything
a bunch of
flashing.
people.
Yeah, your life
Yeah.
flashes before your eyes.
Yeah, and I was just like, what the fuck?
Death is crazy. to
Yeah,
look at,
dog.
man.
And then I fucking came back, and then I grabbed this knife that was sitting on the fucking counter because I was doing stupid shit. I fucking I stuck the knife in and I fucking tore that bitch off.
Damn.
Yeah, that shit like, cut the fuck out of me. And then this was like fucking 5-6 years ago maybe. And then like I came out of the bathroom, and then my legs, I felt paralyzed, yo. Like I fucked up my nerves for like 2 fucking days. Like my legs just weren't the same, and I was just like limping everywhere, and I was just like what the fuck happened? And ever since then,
Oh,
I
you
just
died.
thought,
You
yeah,
died and came back to life.
yeah.
is what
I just
happened.
thought of death in a different way. I was just like, fuck.
Your brain was probably deprived of oxygen just long enough to really
Yeah.
fuck with
I
it.
was just
Yeah.
like, what the fuck is
Yeah.
going on?
That's insane, dude.
Yeah, dude.
I once
That's
overdosed
insane.
on cocaine, man.
You
Yeah.
did just had like a heart attack? Is that basically what it
Yeah,
was?
pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. This is back in Texas. I mean, over there, my family over there and down in, they're probably gonna hear this shit, but it's kind of like it's a way of life, you know. Everybody does it, man. Everybody does it. You know, you're sitting there barbecuing and people you respect, and you know, and this and that, just like talking like nothing, just pass a little baggie around and just, all right. I never used to do it in front of my dad.
Keep bump, dog. Yeah.
You know, I used to respect my dad a lot, but my uncles and stuff. They,
Everywhere, dude. It's everywhere.
They would wait.
Everybody I know.
They would wait for my dad to like, you know, just turn around, and they'd call me over, and then they're like, hey man, let's go. So I was raised like that, you know. But when I separated from my wife, my first wife, kind of went through that whole depression shit, and you know, just because I really loved her a lot, even though it was my fault. So I started partying a lot with the older brother of mine. He was 2 years older than me. But he used to buy. He was well off. He was a truck driver and stuff, and he always had money, man. We would go out to strip clubs and stuff everywhere, and waste every night would be $800, $900. I don't know how he would come up with money, but he would always come up with this money to pay our way of life every time we would go out, man. We had a good time, and you know, 2-3 8 balls like nothing. You know, by the end of the night, you couldn't even speak. You're like, you know, that's, you know, when you get that coke, the back of your hair just fucking lift up, and you know, you just, you're trying to say a word, and you're like there for like 20 minutes. You know, your jaw locks. You know,
Like a speech impediment.
yeah, you
you're
know,
going numb, dude.
that kind of good
Yeah.
nights, you know, that we had, and the one night it just had too much, man. It's just. I swear I had that done within a couple hours. I had done a whole 8 ball, man, by myself, and I was just, my eyes just wanted to blow out of my head, and you know, just you know, I knew I had fucked up, and I came home, and I went to my room, and I started going through some pictures of my ex-wife and stuff, and it's like, fuck, should I be doing this right now? Should I not? I started getting into that whole And I remember getting some pills at because I have a twin brother that he's handicapped and he takes certain pills that he's been taking all his life, and so I got those pills and I didn't even think twice about it. Like, I chugged those fuckers, and I remember as soon as they hit my body, they started dissolving. I knew I had fucked up. I knew, like, I don't think I wanted to do this, man. Like,
yeah.
Like, I made a big mistake. And so I went and
Damn.
That's the worst.
That's
feeling.
intense, bro.
I went and I woke my mom up, and I was like, hey, because I had just gone from Idaho over there to go stay with them. And this is probably about maybe 2 months after I stayed there, you know. And I went and I told her, like, I woke her up, and I was like, hey, I did something I shouldn't have done, man. You probably should come talk to me for a minute. And all I remember is going outside to the front door, to the porch, and sitting in the front, and she came behind and said, what did you do? I was like, hey, Mom, like, I took some pills I shouldn't have taken, and
she's like, fuck, now he doesn't have his prescription.
Well, you know, she always, thank God that she's always had, you know, she always had my back, and I was sitting there, I didn't even finish my sentence when I just collapsed. Boom. I started foaming from the mouth, and I remember bits and parts of it. I mean, I remember, like, having, you know, seizures and stuff. My dad didn't really want to believe it. He's like, no, he's just drunk. He's just drunk. Like, no, motherfucker, I'm fucking foaming from the mouth. Like, my head's going 360. Come on, man. Come on, man. So my mom's like, no, something's wrong with him. And my half sister used to live right next to us, so they went and then they woke up my nephew, and it's like, he come, no, he's probably drunk. We'll take him to the hospital anyway. Either way, I was on my way to the hospital, you know, while I was foaming in the mouth and stuff. I ended up going over there. And yeah, all I remember is my mom coming in there, and my brother Joe going in there, hey man, don't die, you're gonna be all right. And my mom crying, my dad crying, and I remember this particular nurse, this guy nurse, and he was holding my hand. He was because I couldn't move. I kept on seeing everything, but I couldn't move my body. My body was stiff.
You were like paralyzed.
Yeah.
Damn.
So I remember the guy was telling me.
You were like fucked up.
Yeah. I was really
You
fucked
were like
up.
tranquilized, bro.
Yeah.
That is when he
Yeah.
did.
And the guy kept on telling me, hey man, if you believe in Jesus, just move your finger and this and that. And I was like,
Jesus, are you
I was
real?
Yeah, I
I'm
was
not
just
there
like-
yet.
God, is that you?
I'm seeing this motherfucker right now. What are you talking about?
I'm already here. So
I
you
don't
know,
have to say his name. I'll shake his hand, motherfucker.
so he was telling me that, you know, so I couldn't write, I couldn't do anything, I couldn't lift my fingers or nothing, and so, you know, I had to see everybody, you know, so I was like, fuck, I couldn't express what I was feeling. And I remember after that, just shitting a whole bunch of black, because they put a whole bunch of charcoal in me, and like,
Yeah.
you know how they
Yeah,
pump your
they pump
stomach,
you out,
they
man.
pump your
Yeah.
stomach, and for about a week or so, man, I was
shitting
shitting black, you know, it's just like,
tasting a campfire.
yeah,
It doesn't have a taste though, does it? Or no?
No,
Does it
it's mild. It's mild taste.
Does it
I
taste
can't
like
say I
actual
remember.
charcoal?
Yeah.
it was
Yeah,
just, all I know it was
tastes
black.
like ash.
You know,
Yeah.
it was
I
very.
just knew that they just forced, like,
Yeah.
they force it in you to purge you. Right?
Well, I used
And
to
it-
drink
and shit
charcoal
it out
just
and
to
shit.
fucking cleanse myself.
Yeah, they have, yeah, you
they
can get
have
like,
charcoal
yeah, you get
cleanses.
charcoal-based cleanses. Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I won't be doing that anytime soon, man. I'm just saying. That's just,
It's such a
That's an
weird thing
experience,
to
such a-
see you shake about black. You're
Yeah,
like, what
I
the
bet, dude.
fuck?
and you know what was crazy about it? You know, I spent 3 days because my mom, my brother showed up, because my brother wasn't raised with my family. He's my brother from my mom and my dad, but he was raised with my aunt. And he was really scared, man. He came, you know, because they kept on asking, well, what did he take? He didn't want to say that we were doing coke all night, you know. He didn't want to feel responsible for it. But that day that I got out, within 2 hours, he came to my house. Hey,
No, this is coke.
let's go. Literally, he fucking brought another fucking A-ball, and we fucking did it again. And my mom was so fucking mad.
Yeah.
You know, she was just
That's when you
mad.
overdosed on the coke?
She was mad. Yeah.
That's when you overdosed after the chocolate
No, I
cleanse?
already had done it before, and I got
Oh
out from
my
that, and I went out
God.
again, and just
Oh, man.
kept on
Just
round
kept
2.
going.
I mean, I lived a pretty.
Rage, man. Sometimes you just do it.
Coke is one hell of a drug. It's like Rick James.
That's so funny.
I'm Rick James, bitch.
Fuck your
That's
couch.
funny. Hell yeah.
Shit, man, we're going on like an hour and like 25 minutes. I don't know how long of a show you want.
It's
it's like
cut
10,
it
20.
short,
Yeah, no, that's it.
Yeah.
It's,
We can always
Maybe
run over
we
to
had such a
Albertsons
good
and grab a couple
session.
more cocktails and chill, or you guys can
Yeah.
roll home. Either way, I'm gonna run over to Albertsons because
Yeah.
I gotta go grab some food and shit.
Okay.
But,
What
it's up to you.
Um,
What do you want to do? I'm cool, man. Just
Either way.
So
I love you coming, man. You're
Yeah,
an
you're
interesting
fucking-
man. You're
Thanks,
an
dude.
interesting
Oh,
guy,
yeah.
man.
Thanks,
I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you guys are a lot of fun. I had a blast today.
Yeah.
You never
yeah.
know what to expect when you don't meet
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
I was like, do I need to like strap up? Do I, need to, I don't even know who the fuck I'm talking to, but they're coming in my house right now. Do I need to tell
Right.
Ada to stand guard? Like, what's going on over here?
No, yeah.
But I figure if you're referred to me by a friend, dude.
Yeah, no, I was even referred, dude. So the thing
Oh,
was,
you weren't?
no,
Oh, I thought you
wasn't.
were referred.
No, fuck no. So
Oh, I thought-
what it was is that I was putting all this podcast shit together. I had this idea, like I was like, fuck. I was listening to all these podcast people, you know, like,
Mm-hmm.
because what I do for work, I just have to walk around. My second job is just like walking around and shit, cleaning parking lots and whatnot.
Mhm.
So easy. And so I throw on my headphones, started listening to all these podcasts, and I was like, fuck, this is pretty cool. I want to fucking do this. And so I was like, fuck, I don't have any equipment. And so I started trying to get equipment and all this stuff, and it was fucking expensive. And I was like, nah.
It can be.
Yeah. And so,
But dude, I could help you out, man.
yeah, fuck yeah. Well, then
I could
was
definitely
like,
get you a studio for less than like $300 probably.
yeah, fuck
Wow.
yeah. Well, I mean,
Oh,
I
yeah.
have equipment and stuff. I have a desktop. I have
Like,
the
I could just
have the
navigate the
software
wires
and all
for
this
you.
shit. Yeah, and so
You're not doing this.
Yeah, and so
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that's the thing. That's I seen.
But if you want to,
Exactly. That's
It'll
why I
cost you
was
a lot of
like,
money. Yeah.
I started looking
couple
up,
bucks.
and I was like, is there any podcasts? I would look on Facebook. I would look on Google, shit, podcasts, studio podcasts in Boise and all that. And then I was just like, fuck it. I gave up because there was not really anything. I seen the Beehive, and I was like, they don't really do anything. It's just like
music and
it's like-
performance.
yeah, and so there's a studio there, but it's like for someone to go in and record the music. And I was like, fuck, that's not gonna work. And so
And it's like $40 an hour.
yeah,
Yeah, it's not
and
cheap.
so I was looking on Facebook and shit, and then Gabriel came up with, and I guess he was in the Wild Style podcast and shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, where the fuck is this at? I was like, where the fuck is this? Where are they recording this at? I was like, and I guess that day he had just talked about following your dreams and your passion and shit, and he's like, I've really found my passion in podcasting. And I was like, fuck, I'm late. I was like, fuck, someone got it already. And I was
Yeah.
like, no, I was like, you know what?
There's a lot
I can
of
do this. Yeah, I was
podcasting
like, I
now.
can do this. And so I just started, trying to put more ideas together and shit. And I was just really nervous, not scared, just nervous to come in here and kind of do it. And
Yeah.
I was like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Fucking do it.
Just do it,
Just
man.
do it, man. What do you got to
It's
lose?
like, what do you got to
Nothing.
lose?
Yeah.
When you hear all the,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
people
and
you've
then-
met and
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then coming in
Dude,
here
you
and
meet some
I
crazy
was like,
people.
what the fuck?
Yeah, man.
Like,
It's been
cruise out.
it's been nuts, dude. Like just podcasting in general. I've met a lot of interesting people. I've grown a lot, dude. Like exponentially. Whether it's like my emotional intelligence, just being able to communicate, being more tactful with like how I communicate with people, because like people from all different walks of life. Like I was telling you earlier, dude, I've had people who have trained Navy SEALs come in who have done it for years, like undercover LAPD, Olympic gold medalist, dude. I've had like the dude who got shot 23 times by Boise SWAT survived, lost his leg and shit.
He
was
He's a
here,
meth
here, and
addict,
here.
dude. Yeah, dude. They popped off 30 rounds and hit him like 21 or 23 times, dude.
Wow, dude.
Yeah, he was like
Crazy.
dead for like. He like died like 3 times.
Oh my
Yeah, he
God.
survived though. Crazy story. He came over twice, but he's got a wild story. He was a pusher, dude, and like he would do big meth runs from like Wisconsin, and,
Yeah.
like Michigan, and he'd bring back like hundreds of pounds of meth, dude. And he was the enforcer for a lot of these like meth cartels
Yeah,
that were
yeah.
coming through. This guy was huge, dude. He's like 6'4", 240 pounds, just rock solid. Like you don't want that dude showing up with
Yeah.
a gun and pistol whipping you and your
No, man,
girlfriend
it's like, hey,
and
man,
like your
shit.
7-year-old son. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Fuck that nigga too.
Yeah. You're grounded. No PlayStation. No Nintendo. Go to your room. Yeah, crazy. Yeah, I met a lot of cool people. And, you know, the majority of the people, in fact, every single person I've had in this studio has always been, like, totally, like, I always leave them like, dude, I'm glad I fucking did it tonight.
Fuck
Even
yeah.
if it's like
Yeah.
a busy day. And I'm like, oh, fuck, man, I got a podcast. Because I have a podcast on Sunday also.
Okay.
And, like, so I do, like, maybe 2 to, like, 4 a week, you know? I publish probably over 300. I don't advertise it as much on my social
Yeah.
media because my photography is where I make the majority of my money. But I do post, you know, pictures. I just don't promote it as much because I just do it so much, and it's like
Yeah.
you probably just if you subscribe and you like my stuff, you'll probably find me anyways.
Yeah,
I've been out there long enough, like 3.5 years.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, dude, you guys were really cool. I'm excited for the show,
yeah.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah, line up
yeah.
a guest, like however many guests you need,
Oh, yeah.
and the way that I work as far as like a producer, for some shows, I just kind of like tell you, here's the start button, the stop button. You can text me. I'll like be just kind of hanging around the house. You can text me if something happens or you need something. You can always come in and like search shit, or if like you want me to prep stuff up beforehand, I'll make sure everything's good to go and it's like easily accessible. But yeah, dude, totally.
Fuck
It was
yeah.
fun, man. Yeah,
was,
this is a cool
it
show.
was.
You're a great
Oh,
first
yeah.
guest for a good show, like a pilot show, man. It was a lot of
yeah.
fun. You guys,
I
did
had a lot
super
of fun,
show.
man.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah. This is Channel 99, man, and it's what's the name of your podcast again?
The Chatterbox.
Oh yeah, Chatterbox.
I want to make like a jingle and be like, do 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 do. It's the Chatterbox.
You should. I'll put it on before your show. I'll just
Right,
edit it
fuck
into your
yeah,
show.
that'd be
Yeah,
dope.
man. We'll totally do that.
Sweet.
That'd be sick.
Fuck yeah.
Well, dude,
Hell
give
yeah.
closing statement as far as
Alright,
like
so,
shout outs and
I want
kinda
to give a shout out, huge shout out to marijuana. It's got me this far. No, I'm just playing.
Oh, hey, don't
no,
be
it
rough.
has.
Don't-
Yeah,
you
yeah,
gotta
you
give
can be
much
real.
love to that.
I mean, it has gotten me where I'm at today.
Right? Yeah,
totally.
it's so healing. No, but yeah, it was a great show. I want to just give a shout out. Thank you to Channel 99. Thank you for letting me come through. Thank you for I guess letting me I guess practice run. Not really practice
yeah,
run.
no,
I guess
yeah.
it's like
Just a little
thank you
dry
for
run.
coming
Just a
in.
little
Thank you
dry
for
run.
being a
Yeah,
guest.
This is a great episode.
Looking
man.
forward to the next one. Should be
Yeah.
dope.
Yeah,
But yeah.
totally.
All right.
Any other shout outs? Where can people find you? Have you got like any social media set up yet, or are you working on that?
So yeah, I actually. So right now I'm having one of my friends, one of my associates. His name is Roy Wilson. He's working on my art, on my cover art, and so I basically just waiting on him so I can post my profile for, I think it's called the Chatterbox on Facebook, and I'm working on the page right now.
Cool.
So
But if people
yeah.
want to find you on Instagram, do you have an Instagram or not yet?
No.
No, that's fine.
I have a Facebook.
I mean, if you do create one later,
Moreno.
yeah. Well, you'll get it. You'll get one later.
Oh
like,
yeah,
maybe.
fuck yeah.
I mean, everybody.
I kind of
wants
just
an
want to put
Instagram now.
some videos under my belt for now. I'm like,
Yeah, totally.
yeah, like get the hang of it.
Yeah, yeah, that was definitely.
So I got a lot of
something.
people who like. Have you heard of KB's Burritos? They are located off Meridian. They're in Meridian off of Chinden and Eagle, right there, like by Jack's, by like Chevron and the fucking Jack in the Box.
On Chinden and
Chinden
Eagle?
and Eagle.
Oh yeah,
Right there.
Like
So
Target
it's-
and everything.
Yeah, so there's Lakemore.
and it's on the
called
other
Lakemore.
side.
Yeah, so it's on the other side of
Chinden.
like going towards Eagle. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's called KB's Burrito, and he wanted to come in and do a podcast too. He's all because I told him one day he was just opening, and I was like, maybe you could like sponsor sponsor me on something and like give me like
Yeah, sponsor the show.
You know, yeah.
Come give you like $20 and have them come on and talk about a show.
Well, no, I was like, not even like paying me or like give me, sponsor the show. Just give me something from your company, I guess, for the KB's Burritos, like a fucking gift card. He was like, yeah, I can do like $25 for the gift card, and I could just, I was thinking of like doing some
Oh,
shit
like donate
that.
or
Yeah.
raffle it off. Like,
yeah,
hey,
so I
for
could
a
like
share,
share
Yeah,
the
share
page.
yeah.
like tag 3 people
Yeah,
or tag 2
people,
friends.
you'll get
and,
into this raffle to win
Yeah.
fucking
Free
KB's
burritos.
Burritos.
That's a good idea,
fucking-
yeah.
is it?
people love giveaways.
I went there. Fuck, it's so bomb.
Yeah.
It's so bomb.
Dude, I don't doubt it. Man. I love burritos. Dude.
But
Have you guys been to California Mexican food on Fairview and 5 Mile?
yeah, that shit's.
I
Is it Fairview?
Is that pretty
Dude,
good?
It's so good.
It's so
yeah.
good.
The
Hey,
name,
you know what?
like,
There's a little spot in Middleton. It's a taco place, right?
is it like a
across
truck or is it an actual
No,
like,
it's a
location?
restaurant. It's a little place. You could tell it was a burger joint back in the day, but it's got a little drive-through and everything. Oh man, you know what? I eat a lot of tacos, but this place is.
I made ostrich tacos the other day.
Oh
What?
my
Yeah.
God,
They were
ostrich is
bomb.
so good.
It's good, dude. Yeah,
I love
still have a
ostrich.
little
It's
more
so
you
on
ever
it.
lean.
had a shark?
So good. I haven't had shark.
Fuck,
dude.
shark
No.
is so good.
Shark
That's something I could be like,
taco.
what?
Yeah.
Those I had an ostrich burger down in Fort Worth, somewhere down there.
I
in
have a
Texas.
couple in my freezer, dude.
Oh
They're
man,
expensive.
dude.
And
Yeah,
I had
they
a whole
are
wing,
expensive.
dude. Some guy brought them over. And I was like, all right, man. Like, we'll just make some ostrich. But we only
let's
made
make
we
some
only made
fucking
the
ostrich.
all we did was make the wing for the tacos, and there was enough for a whole meal. So we're like, we'll
A
just eat the burgers
fucking
later.
ostrich wing?
Well, it's not the whole wing, but it was like 2 pounds. The whole thing
Little
itself was
buffalo
like two, almost 2.5 pounds. Like,
What?
Yeah, the side, like because I had to wait to like thaw it out. And it was like 2.36, 2.38 pounds. Yeah,
That's
for just the wing part that we bought.
Wow,
Yeah, crazy.
that's crazy.
It is really good though. It's not bad. It's kind of stringy, but it's not anything like people are like. Does it taste like turkey? What, does it taste like?
Oh, no.
What does it taste like? Goose? Does it taste like? No, dude. It tastes like ostrich. It's its own flavor. Just
Yeah,
like
it's-
how
it's a different
goose
flavor.
Tastes like
It's a-
goose
The
and.
nigga runs fucking 60 miles an hour. He's gonna
Yeah.
have some taste.
Pick up the taste along the way.
Take
like
it and
this.
run. That's so funny.
Oh shit!
Shit, man. Yeah, dude.
Alright, hell
Anyways,
yeah.
let's roll this up.
All right, thank
Everybody,
you.
yeah,
Thank you,
totally,
guys.
man. And thank you. I appreciate it. I had a blast, dude.
yeah.
Everybody, make sure you subscribe. Give us 5 stars. Pass the episode along. And have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace.